Hi Leo, Enchantress here, master weaver of mystery suspense thrillers, as well as broadcaster of astrology. First, I'd like to thank you for being here with me today, lending me your ears, your eyes, and your time. I know it is valuable. Therefore, I will be sharing valuable information with you that will help you navigate the upcoming challenges for the month of June. Now, if you'd like to know more about Enchantress, the author, you can hit the down bar. All of my links are there, as well as the links for the healing chakra beads and the sun catchers. Please don't hesitate to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it does help me grow. Now, let's get into why we are here, Leo. We're going to go over Gemini season, actually June in its entirety, so that includes some Cancer season as well. But Gemini season is here from May 21st through June 20th. The mutable air sign of Gemini is ruled by Mercury, making Gemini all about networking and communication. This curious sign loves to mingle, and with Mercury at its helm, they're naturals when it comes to learning new skills or connecting with those that can assist them in opening these channels. This month, you're prompted to take a page out of the book of Gemini. Listen, learn, explore, network. In order to expand your business this month, you're required to poke your head out of your shell, okay? Even if you have to remain in quarantine somewhat. Using the World Wide Web is going to be your best bet, allowing you to reach far and wide right from the comfort of your own home. It's time to find the connect. Catch my drift? Now, let's see where some of our major planets will be transiting, okay? And this will apply to the collective. After that, we'll get into your individual scope, Leo. First, we'll do Uranus. Uranus, we know it's in Taurus. We've talked about this. Taurus reigns over your money, your values, your resources, and Uranus is the planet of shock, surprises, revolution, which is free to progress. It's actually, Uranus is semi-sextile Chiron at 9 degrees of Taurus on June 10th. Now, this could bring a sudden or unexpected opportunity to recover from a financial loss. You know, and maybe even a chance to heal a broken relationship with a family member or a significant other. Some could find themselves the receiver of an enticing proposition as well, that you know could ruin a relationship with a spouse or a lover or even a relative. So you want to be mindful of your actions and what you're getting into. June 10th, it's around June 10th. The sun is in Gemini at the start of June, keeping your focus on learning new avenues of creating success. Gemini is prompting you to be fun and sharp-witted with your business endeavors, okay? Now, that's a mutable sign, you know, they're changeable. Then it's going to enter Cancer at 0 degrees on June 20th, okay? That's when Cancer season starts. Okay, this is a time you might prefer to stay at home, nurturing those around you. You could slack off as to your professional goals just a little bit, preferring to enjoy the things around your abode that provide you contentment. The home is definitely a focus when Cancer is at play, you know, when it's that season. Mercury, the planet of communication, skills, intellect, it goes retrograde on the 18th of June in the sign of Cancer at 14 degrees. Now, be discerning as to whom you spark dealings with, business or otherwise. You may find yourself in the midst of underhanded, lazy characters who mean to misuse your talents. You know, people who make it to higher places through little efforts of their own. In other words, look out for the charlatan. Okay, the retrograde lasts until July the 12th. So with it being retrograde, you'll also be dealing with people you've dealt with in the past, coming back to redo, to revise, to restructure, for you guys to re-edit and things like that. Now, Venus, the planet of romance, finances, abundance, pleasure, it remains retrograde in Gemini. Okay, so the way you go about putting those things that we talked about, romance, finances, abundance, pleasure, the way you go about putting those things into action is in question. Okay, now some will get a second chance to deal with the same issue. Will you handle it as you did in the past? If so, did you receive your desired result? Because if not, this is an opportunity for you to shift the outcome. Now, talks about finances are still a big focus at this time. So, of course, I don't recommend making any big changes in your finances unless it's scaling back. with Venus being retrograde. I warned against making drastic changes in your appearance with Venus retrograde because you might not have a taste for it once the planet goes direct. Now, this planet, Venus goes direct in Gemini on June 25th. In the newsletter, I think I had until in there. It's retrograde now on June 25th, then it goes forward. So forgive me that faux pas. This is a position of wealth, success, fame, intelligence. All areas are free to progress toward a steadfast abundance once it goes direct, June 25th, in the sign of Gemini. Neptune, the planet of fantasy, inspiration, dreams, illusions. It goes retrograde on June 23rd. This transit, of course, will affect Pisces the most because, you know, Neptune rules Pisces naturally. But it could put you in a lazy mood, all of us. You could feel bossy or sharp-tongued, and this is because Mars is there too, remember? We talked about that. Mars is not going to move into Aries until later, until like the 27th. So try not to fall into the trap of holding yourself back or blocking your blessings by being sharp-tongued, okay? Now, Mars, the planet of energy and challenges, like I said, will enter Aries on the 27th, where it is exalted. It will no longer be where it's debilitated. So everyone will be feeling better. This is great for Aries and Scorpio because they're ruled by Mars. But all of us as a collective, our competitive drive will be back. Okay. Our ability to overcome hardships is heightened during this time, you know, once that goes direct Mars and into Aries. This will incite more protests though. Okay. Because people will have the courage to fight for their rights. Okay. So they will be increasing. Your libido might be in overdrive. So don't allow yourself to be seduced by a snake in the grass or be tempted. You know, you could stand to lose everything potentially. Now, Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, it's going to be quintile Charon at 8 degrees of Aries on June 1st. This could bring success with a health regimen. A chronic ailment that usually bothers you could subside during this transit. And by the way, a quintile is when two planets are 72 degrees apart, forming a harmonious aspect. Now, Jupiter is conjunct Pluto at 24 degrees Capricorn on June 30th. This conjunction is favorable for making strides in literature and education. However, you must be willing to learn, to study, to try new things, okay? A word of advice is just, your wit is sharp right now. You know, just make sure your tongue doesn't match, okay? Because we're under the energy of Capricorn, and Capricorns can be extremely direct. It's going to be retrograde in Capricorn until September 23rd. Now, Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius until September 29th. As you know, Saturn is the planet of restrictions, responsibility, even karma, good or bad. Your actions help determine how your karma plays out. In this position, there is a danger of short-lived romances following up one's karma. So you want to watch out for that. Watch out for the relationships you find yourself in, okay? Success can be achieved, but one must abide by principles, okay? Leo, everyone, I'm talking to the collective right now. I have to take these glasses off because I might not be able to see, but it's really hurting my head. Okay, sorry. Now, Pluto, the planet of rebirth, renewal, resources, is retrograde until October the 4th. This is a time of transformation for the collective. Be gentle with yourself. In the coming months, our faiths will be tested. Don't allow fear to bind you mentally. Don't be easily deceived. Do your homework before believing media or social propaganda, as it will be shoved into our faces from all directions. We as a collective are at a vulnerable point in our lives. We as individuals must do our part by keeping up our hopes, maintaining our mental health, as well as doing what we can to be a part of the solution, as opposed to perpetuating the problem. The silver lining is that Pluto being conjunct Jupiter does help us to keep our eyes on the prize while facing the upcoming shifts in our personal and business lives. I implore you, keep a kind heart. The world needs compassion, as does the entire human race. Now, the full moon on June 5th is in the mutable fire sign of Sagittarius at 15 degrees. There will be a partial lunar eclipse at the South Node. The South Node is your karma. It's your past life experiences. You've been there. You've done that. It's time to learn from that and move forward. A reevaluation of beliefs is upon us all. The full moon brings things to a culmination. This moon is squaring Pisces. It's squared by Neptune is in Pisces and Mars is there too. Okay, so it's squaring those places, and we'll talk about how it's going to affect you below. So the lunar eclipse is opposing the sun. Now the new moon on June 21st is in the cardinal water sign of Cancer at 0 degree. This will be a partial solar eclipse in the North Node. Now the North Node is where you're trying to go in life without being corrupted by the money and power attained as you get closer to it, okay? That's your fame, your success, your achievement. The new moon it's what you're here to do. The new moon brings new opportunities and a fresh starts. And that's a solar eclipse, so it's blocking the sun. Now, let's get into how this is going to affect your sign individually, Leo. Leo ranges from July 23rd until August 22nd. Okay, I gotta put these glasses back on so I can see. On June 1st, Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, is quintile Charon in Aries, impacting your sector of travel and education. Not only are you learning, you're expanding. Okay, Leo? Aries is your sister sign, trining you. This is bringing you blessings in those areas that I was just talking about. Okay, travel and education. You could be taking a class. You could be getting a vehicle repaired. You could even be getting a new one altogether. This month begins with the Sun and Mercury, planet of skills, communication, intellect, sales, in Gemini. Okay? The Sun and Mercury in Gemini. This puts the spotlight on your sector of friends, goals, high hopes. They're a big part of you moving forward. Okay? The full moon in Sagittarius on the 5th squares Mars, planet of energy and challenges, along with Neptune there in Pisces. Okay? Illusions, delusions. This affects your area of creativity and children, Leo, as well as your sector of shared resources and shared money. You could face challenges bringing aspirations to fruition where it comes to creative endeavors. But luckily, my Leo kings and queens, your sign trines Sagittarius because it's your sister sign. Okay, so this brings blessings your way, which could save the day. Okay, now, once the Sun and Mercury move into Cancer, the focus is on your area of secrets and privacy. Okay, there may be people digging into your life. Push those skeletons back in the closet and lock it up tight, Leo. Okay, now the new moon in Cancer on June 21st brings an opportunity to grow your shared resources because of its aspects in your 8th house. Now, Neptune goes retrograde in Pisces on the 23rd, aspecting your sector of shared resources. Again, past projects or past aspirations could become a source of revenue. Venus going direct in your sector of friends and high hopes and goals on June 25th in Gemini is excellent news for you, okay? Shared resources and aspirations with friends have the green light, okay? Now, we also have Mars moving back into Aries, your area of learning and travel on June the 27th. Now, the hard work that you've been doing will bring a blessing, okay? Now, last but not least, Jupiter is conjunct Pluto on June the 30th. It's impacting your sector of work. You're in for a huge transformation, Leo, okay? That's all I can say, really. Now, Saturn, the planet of responsibility and karma, it remains in Aquarius. So lessons in partnerships still apply. Okay, so you're facing your karma in partnerships, okay, in relationships. So you're facing tests in that area, okay? The better you do on those tests, the better your karma is and the better that blessing will be. Got it? Okay. Now, be flexible. Okay. Remember, you're on fire. You got to stay balanced, Leo, because you're on fire. Okay. Now, Mercury goes retrograde on June 18th, remember, in Cancer. That's a time to work on things, not to launch. Review, revise, re-edit, restructure. Okay. All right. Now, stay safe and God bless you, Leo. See you next month.